Welcome to Mayanot. Here in Jerusalem, college students who have no previous opportunity to study Torah, to learn what it means to be a Jew, can really delve deeply into the text of Torah and Hasidus, and to have a real relationship with God, to have a relationship with their own soul, with their own neshama. However, there are tremendous barriers of entry, and primarily scholarships.
I grew up with the conservative synagogue, or the conservative type of bar mitzvah, and then after that there was not a lot.
I grew up in a conservative home where my grandparents were Holocaust survivors, and they always instilled the value of marrying Jewish, but I never really understood why it was so important. I never really understood why Judaism would be relevant to my life. It seemed old, and I wanted something going forward that was modern and relevant.
My parents are South African, so they're not really religious, but they're traditional, and we would have Shabbos dinner every week, and we'd go to shul on Shabbos morning, and I was both involved with a conservative shul and a Chabad house.
I grew up with a Jewish mother and a non-Jewish father, and we grew up in a home where my parents did their best to balance the way my dad grew up and the way my mom grew up. And so we grew up with both Hanukkah and Christmas.
I live in the middle of nowhere in a very rural town, and so I left Jewish school when I was very young, and because of that I missed out on a significant amount of my Jewish education. And during that time I also had a very difficult, complicated relationship with Judaism. I didn't really feel a connection to it.
I was walking in the street one day and I saw Jewish people running with the Sefer Torah, and it was actually a Chabad house that was inaugurating their Torah. And I started just going there, and slowly but surely I made friends, and we sang and we had fun, and it really made me want to learn more.
I always had a sense that there was something more that I needed to do in my Yiddishkeit. For example, when I would go to school, very often I would stay home from school on first day Yom Tov, but then I would go to school on second day Yom Tov, and I always remember coming home from school, getting off the bus, and seeing people walking home. The Chabad house was right next door to my house, so I would see people walking home from shul, and just there was a part of me that was telling me I should also be walking home from shul.
I heard about the Tiferes Menachem Scholarship through, I believe, a friend from school who had been to Mayanot before. And I always wanted to be able to connect more deeply with my Jewish roots and to be able to learn how to learn. And Mayanot, I know now, has been the perfect place for me. But at the time, I wasn't so sure about where to go, and I had some interesting job offers coming up for this past fall, and my family had been very encouraging about that, and I wanted to do right by them. So I was very much in a place where I wasn't able to make a decision. And I said, okay, I'm going to apply to this scholarship, and God, if you want me to go to Mayanot, to Jerusalem, send me a sign. And 4 days later, I got the scholarship. And a month and a half later, I came to Mayanot, and I haven't looked back.
For me, Tiferes Menachem was like winning a lottery ticket, because I was in Canada, and at the time I was without my family, and I didn't have any opportunity to even reach the land of Israel, but I still knew that I wanted to learn. And somebody gave me this flyer, and I applied, and I was waiting, I got in, and for me it was a miracle. It was a miracle because it gave me time to know myself, to know about my background, to know things that I should know that I didn't know, and I think it's a game changer.
The Tiferes Menachem Scholarship has allowed me to be able to have my only focus in yeshiva be on my growth in yeshiva, and has taken away a lot of the stresses that came from my family with finances.
I can't thank Mr. Fink and the Tiferes Menachem Scholarship enough for giving me this year an opportunity to come to Israel and study. I have gained so much, and I'm so proud of being Jewish now. I feel like I've learned a ton, and I'm going to take it with me wherever I go, when I go back to university, when I go back to the States, and wherever else. And I just am so grateful, so thank you.
people say that your peak of your inspiration in Yiddishkeit is really in your yeshiva years, and after that you're really unpacking what you already built up. So I'd say thank you to the Fink family for enabling me to build up a storehouse of experiences and hopefully be able to unpack those experiences throughout my life.
Something takes place here in Jerusalem which is magical. When a student suddenly discovers not only that there is a world of Judaism, a world of spirituality that they never knew about, but then they realize that this belongs to them, it is their story, their neshama, this for me is truly inspiring.
Now, as a proud faculty member, I understand the importance, and I see every day students coming through Mayanot and gaining the kind of skills that they can walk away with, that they can bring to their home communities and truly make a difference.
You heard from our students the effect Reb Shmuel had on their lives through the scholarship fund. It's extremely heartwarming to see that this vision he had for so many decades is being fulfilled, and the dream is being continued through the students.
To see the magic of a young college student who felt so disconnected from their history, from their heritage, suddenly realize, this is who I am.
And I want to take this opportunity on behalf of all the students that benefited through these scholarships and thank Reb Shmuel Fink and Yibadul Min Chaim L'Chaim, Reb Eliezer Gold, together with Reb Menachem Friedfertig, Reb Yehuda Chekhov, under the leadership of Rabbi Avram Lipsker, of making this amazing dream a reality. Thank you.